Just checking out my audio, a little pre-check here. How is everybody? And I think we have audio. Yes, we do. We're in Steve's virtual piano bar here. Yeah, we got the atmosphere. There we go. There I am, close up. Yeah, and the audio is working. So, okay, we're going to be starting some music in just a couple of minutes. So, looking forward to it. And we'll see you in a bit. Okay, you should be able to hear me now. Oh, wait. Okay, you should be able to hear me now, Amy. Please tell me you can hear me. Please, please. It's nice to see you. Okay, you can hear me? Hello, hello, hello. There's a little bit of delay in the chat, so I'll wait for you to hear. I'll just wait. I'm waiting. Now you can hear me. Can you hear me? Yes? No? Yes. I'm sure you can hear me now. Okay. I'm not sure, but... Okay, can you hear now? It looks like it's going out over the air. I don't know what... I've got the sound level looks like it's going out over the air. It just does. Oh, wait, system audio. Okay, let me see. Okay, is that better? Can you hear me now? Yes? Can you hear me now? Okay? Is it okay? Hello? Oops. No, I'm talking. I don't know what's wrong. Okay, let me check on my end here. Okay, I've got it on my phone. Let's see if the volume level comes through my phone. Okay, I've got it on my phone. Let's see if the volume level comes through. Yes, I have audio through my phone. Yes, I have audio through my phone. Okay, let me check on my. Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Steve's Virtual Piano Bar. And we're just checking on an audio problem. And I want to make sure you're able to hear me, because that would not make sense for me to sit here and play all kinds of stuff. Oh, without your being able to hear me. So. Okay, I'm playing and I'm talking. You should be able to hear. Okay, then the audio is working on some level. Okay, well, thanks for checking that out with me, Amy. I want to make sure we're on. We're working. So, folks, if the audio is not working on your computer, it may be working on your phone. We don't know. But let's fall in love. Why shouldn't we fall in love? Hey, Miles, now is the time for it while we. Why be afraid of it? Let's close our eyes and make our own paradise. Little we know of it, still we can try to make a go of it. We might have been meant for each other, to be or not to be. Let our hearts discover. Let's fall in love. Why shouldn't we fall in love? Now is the time for it while we are young. Let's fall in love, Amy. Up a half step. Let's fall in love. Why shouldn't we fall in love? Our hearts are made of it. Let's take a chance. Why be afraid of it? Let's close our eyes and make our own paradise. Little we know of it, still we can try to make a go of it. We might have been meant for each other, to be or not to be. Let our hearts discover. Let's fall in love. Why shouldn't we fall in love? Now is the time for it while we are young. Let's fall in love. Let's fall in love. Yeah. All right. Hey, Miles, good to see you. Oh, you've been pretty regular, Miles, showing up to these things. Show off. He calls me a show off. Well, you know who taught me to be a show off, Miles? Not you, but I was talking with Jimmy Damon, and I said, well, I think that some of the songs I played that last set were a little bit corny. And Jimmy Damon says, no, nothing is too corny. Well, anyway, that's his philosophy. But anyway, thank you for coming. Gonna play. I'm just gonna wing it because, and I will have to thank you. I see the applause. I can't hear him. I wish I could hear him. And I'm also got a little bit of a thought, and let me know what you think of this, of doing a Zoom broadcast, because you can have up to 100 people, and there are some musicians who are doing Zoom broadcasts and it's working out very well. Who is the piano player I'm trying to think of? Tamir Hendelson. Miles, you might have heard of Tamir Hendelson. He's one of your cousins, I think. He's from Israel, anyway. So, excellent piano player. Lives out in L.A., actually. He's played with Barbra Streisand and some of the best, people. Anyway, my point is, he does a Zoom session with 100 people, and it goes very well. So, yeah, we'll talk about that some more in the future. But right now, we're just going to do some music. Yeah. Is your granddaughter there to hear her song, Amy? I'll wait till if she's not there, I'll do it anyway and dedicate it to her. How's that? Cigarette holder, which wigs me over her shoulder. She takes me out catting that swinging satin doll. Baby, shall we go out skipping? Careful, amigo, you're flipping. Speaks Latin, that swinging satin doll. She's nobody's fool, playing it cool as can be. I'll give it a whirl, but I ain't for no girl catching me. I said, Rudy, telephone numbers. You know I'm doing my rumbas with Uno and batting my swinging satin doll. Everybody dance. Yes. Uh-huh. Oh, cigarette holder, which wigs me over her shoulder. She digs me out catting that Saturn doll. And baby, shall we go? I'll skip and careful amigo. Your flippin' speaks Latin, that swinging Saturn doll. She's nobody's fool. I'm playing it cool as can be. I'll give it a whirl. I ain't for no girl catching me. I switch a Rooney telephone numbers. You know I'm doing my rumbas with Uno and baton, my swinging Saturn doll, my Saturn doll, and baton, my swinging Saturn doll. All right, I just made that up, that last part. Yeah. Well, when I did my first recording back in 1989, I worked with a great drummer named Marshall Thompson. And Marshall Thompson was the house drummer at the London House. And I thought, well, if I was going to do a recording, I would want to get the best drummer possible. And I thought, well, what do I have to lose by asking him? So I asked him to play on my recording session in 1989. This was about 3 years before he passed away. And he said yes. So I did this recording, and one of the songs I did was this Nat King Cole song. Oh, and by the way, I want to mention Miles Green is doing a number of live broadcasts. He's going to be doing a special one on Father's Day, and I know that's a very special one for Miles. I know he was very close to his father. I know Miles well enough to know that. So, Oh, Nee says, thank you, Mr. Steve. All right, and thank you for listening. Amy's granddaughter, whose name I can hardly pronounce, but... Anyway, one of the songs I did with Marshall Thompson was this Nat Cole song. And I'm going to do a couple Nat Cole songs today. Maybe we'll make that a theme. I just made that up just now, but you know, he has so many great songs to pick from that it's almost unlimited. The buzzer took a monkey for a ride in the air. The monkey thought that everything was on the square. The buzzer tried to throw the monkey off his back. He grabbed his neck and said, now, listen, Jack. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and stay right. Straighten up and fly right. Oh, cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. What's the use of jiving? Ain't no use in diving. Straighten up and fly right. Oh, cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. The buzzer said, hey, monkey, you are choking me. Release your hold and I will set you free. The monkey looked the buzzard right dead in the eye. Said, your story's so very touching, but it sounds just like a lie. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and stay right. Straighten up and fly right. Oh, cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top now. Took a monkey for a ride in the air. The monkey thought that everything was on the square. The buzzer tried to throw the monkey off his back. He grabbed his neck and said, now, listen, Jack. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and fly right. Oh, cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. What's the use of jiving? Ain't no use in diving. Straighten up and fly right. Oh, cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. Fly right. Did I play the wrong note? There we go. Okay. Yeah. Another one of my favorite Nat Cole songs is the one he got from a guy who was like wearing a robe. He comes up to him and says, "Mr. Nat King Cole, will you listen to my song and consider recording it?" I went over to Mr. Sinatra, and Sinatra said, "Get out of here with your toga. I don't want to hear your damn song." So he went over to Nat Cole, and Nat Cole said, "Okay, I'll take a listen to it." And Nat Cole thought it sounded Jewish, but it does sound Oriental, and it's called Nature Boy. And it was written by Eden Abhez. There was a boy, a very strange, enchanted boy. You say he wandered very far over land and sea. A little shy and sad of eye, but very wise was he. And then one day, one magic day, he passed my way. And as we spoke of many things, fools and kings, this he said to me: the greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. And then one day, a magic day, he passed my way. As we spoke of many things, fools and kings, this he said to me: the greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. Here's another Nat Cole song, going from the sublime to the ridiculous. He wrote a song about food. I used to do this one down at that restaurant in Oak Brook, Tuscany, where I opened for Miles. I was the opening act for Miles Green. You know, it's on my resume. I don't want French fried potatoes, red ripe tomatoes. I'm never satisfied. I want the prim fram sauce with a Hasenfee and Shababa on the side. I don't want fish cakes and rye bread, you heard what I said. Waiter, please serve my pride. I want the prim fram sauce with a Hasenfee and Shababa on the side. A fella really got to eat, and a fella should eat right. 5 will get you 10. I'm gonna feed myself right tonight. I don't want pork chops and bacon, that won't awaken this appetite inside. I want the frim fram sauce with a Hasenfee and Shababa on the side. A fella really got to eat, and a fella should eat right. 5 will get you 10. I'm gonna feed myself right tonight. I don't want pork chops and bacon, that won't awaken this appetite inside. I want the prim fram sauce with the Hasenfee and Shababa on the side. I want the prim fram sauce with the Hasenfee and Shababa on the side. Well, I'm doing songs from the Great American Songbook in general, but some Nat Cole songs. There's one that I wish I could remember the lyrics to, but I'll work it up for next time. It's called Imagination. No, not Imagination. It's called... see, I can't even remember any of the lyrics, so there you go. So if anybody has a request, we've got a few people hanging around the piano bar, but that's okay. I'm going to do a Sinatra song called I Thought About You. Jimmy Van Heusen wrote this song. I took a trip on a train and I thought about you. Looked down a shadowy lane and I thought about you. 2 or 3 cars parked under the stars and a winding stream, moon shining down on some little town, and with each beam the same old dream. And every stop that we made, oh, I thought about you. When I pulled down the shade, then I really felt blue. I peeked through the crack, I looked at that track, the one going back to you. What did I do? I thought about you. took a trip on a train, and I thought about you. Looked down a shadowy lane, and I thought about you. 2 or 3 cars parked under the stars, and a winding stream. Moon shining down on some little town with each beam. The same old dream. And every stop that we made, oh, I thought about you. When I pulled down the shade, then I really felt blue. I peeked through the crack and looked at that track, the one going back to you. And what did I do? Oh, what did I do? What did I do? I thought about you. Yeah. There we go. Hi, Joe. Joe is showing up in the other chat room. So we've got 2 chat rooms. We've got the Facebook chat room, and we've got the other chat room. Hey, Mr. Ron Melman is here. And he has a request for a dream. Hey, Ron, I think, we're going to be doing our sound check or our rehearsal, run through with Ron Melman, who's the video photographer par excellence here in Sedona. And Anne-Marie Shediak. All the piano bar people are showing up. This is great. Okay, and Ron Melman requests the song Dream. And this is written by, don't tell me, I know who it's written by. Anyway, the guy who wrote the lyrics to Moon River also wrote the lyrics to this song and the melody. So dream when you're feeling blue. Dream, that's the thing to do. Just watch the smoke rings rise in the air. You'll find your share of memories there. So dream when the day is through. Dream, that's the thing to do. Things never are as bad as they seem. So dream, dream, dream. Dream when the day is through. Dream, that's the thing to do. Things never are as bad as they seem. So dream, dream, dream. Yes, Jed McKay says Johnny Mercer, and it's correct. He wrote the lyrics to Moon River. Actually, Miles Green had the correct answer for who wrote the melody to Moon River, which was Henry Mancini. But Johnny Mercer wrote the lyrics, and one of the very few songs he wrote the melody to was Dream. That's the last song. He also wrote the lyrics to the song I did just before that, I Thought About You. He wrote tons and tons of lyrics, that guy. So it's about time for a little blues, I think. Yeah, a little bit of Charles Brown and Driftin' Blues. As long as I'm in the key of B flat, I'll stay there. Well, I'm just drifting and drifting like a ship out on the sea. I'm just drifting and drifting like a ship out on the sea. Ain't got no one in this world to care for me. If my baby ever come back home again, if my baby would ever come back home again, I'd feel so much better, darling, and at least I'd have a friend. Yeah, yeah. You know, I'll give you all my money. Tell me what more can I do? What more can I do? I'll give you all my money. Tell me what more can I do? You're such a good little girl. Honey, you just won't be true. Now bye-bye, baby. Baby, bye-bye, bye-bye. Bye-bye, baby. Baby, bye-bye, bye-bye. It's gonna be too late, baby, and I'll be so far away. Yeah. The Charles Brown Standard Blues. You can really get into the blues. Sometimes I just get absorbed in the blues. And Jed, you were one of the guys who kind of prodded me on to getting interested in the blues. And I remember I used to play these country club gigs when I was just feeling nothing, like playing nothing except blues. And I'd play like an entire set of blues for these country club parties. It didn't go over that well, actually, but needed a little more variety than that at some point if you're going to be a professional. on those type of gigs anyway. So how about a little change the pace here, a little bit of James Taylor. Oh wait, before I do James, I'm going to do James Taylor, but before I do that, I have to admit I have not been good about practicing my French. But I do have one song that I will dedicate to Anne-Marie from Eastern Canada, near Moncton, out in the Maritimes. Actually, she's from Shediac. You could look it up on a map. It's a very beautiful location right on the Atlantic Ocean. It's just lovely, lovely. comes in and takes you for a spin. Ooh la la la, c'est magnifique. When every night your loved one holds you tight. Ooh la la la, c'est magnifique. But when one day your loved one drifts away, ooh la la la, it is so tragic. But when once more, ooh, she whispers, je t'adore, c'est magnifique. When love comes in and takes you for a spin, ooh la la la, c'est magnifique. When every night your loved one holds you tight, ooh la la la, c'est magnifique. But when one day your loved one drifts away, ooh la la la, it is so tragic. But when once more she whispers, je t'adore, c'est magnifique. C'est magnifique. Bonsoir, everybody. Actually, it's the middle of the day here in Sedona. The sun is shining brightly. And I think by the time you get out to Eastern Canada, the sun is probably almost setting, I bet. So, yes, I was just seeing my old friend Ron Melman, who's part of the crowd possibly right now, but we're actually doing a rehearsal together this afternoon. So I have to leave a little bit early. Do I have to leave early to get there in time? I may. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it feels. I usually play till 5:15 or so. So I probably can still do that. I might have to leave 5 minutes early, 5:10. We'll see. But we'll see how it goes. We'll play by ear. If things are rolling and, the tips are flowing in, oh, you're very welcome. De rien. Je t'en prie. And I think I'll do a instrumental, and I'm not sure what yet. I want to do an instrumental. One I haven't done for a long time is and I always forget this. Jerome Kern wrote a lot of great songs, of course, for the Great American Songbook. And one instrumental of his that I really especially like. It also has great words, but it really works as an instrumental too. And it's a nice ballad. It's called Smoke Gets in Your Eyes. Not so much anymore in the bars and restaurants, but used to. Smoke used to get in your eyes a lot more. But it's a great song. Or when you're camping, you can get smoke in your eyes, Okay, when you talk about the Great American Songbook, there are so many great songs from the 20s all the way to the 60s, some of them. But there are a lot of great songs are from the 20s. So I always thought these songs, that nobody knew where they came from, but there was a great songwriter in the 20s named Henderson who wrote one of the classics of all time. And it's kind of a positive song, you know, for a little upbeat, positive message. Because sometimes blackbirds are referred to as your problems, and you would just want to say bye-bye, blackbird. Especially when you're listening to music, right? Oh, pack up all my care and woe, singing low, here we go. Bye, bye, bye-bye, blackbird. Where somebody waits for me, sugar sweet, so is she. Bye, bye, blackbird. No one here can love or understand me. What hard luck stories they all hand me. Make my bed and light the light. I'll be home late tonight. Blackbird, bye bye. Tweet, tweet. Oh, pack up all my care and go. Here I go, singing low. Bye, 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 blackbird. Where somebody waits for me, sugar sweet, so is she. Bye, blackbird. No one here can love or understand me. What hard luck stories they all hand me. Make my bed and light the light. I'll be home late tonight. Blackbird, oh blackbird, blackbird, bye bye. Yeah, that song is great. Jazz musicians also love that song, even though it's really, really an old song, almost 100 years old. And of course, Miles Davis recorded it. A couple of versions of it that were monumental because it kind of opened up the door to, it was cool to do some of those old songs as jazz versions. So that's what happened. And I'm going to do James Taylor now, like I promised. And this is a song that actually a great jazz musician named Michael Brecker played a saxophone solo on this song. Kind of short, but very beautiful. Don't Let Me Be Lonely Tonight. And also Michael Brecker was a classmate of mine when I went to Berklee School of Music way back in the old days. Old days. I won't even tell you how long ago that was, but do me wrong and do me right now. Tell me lies, but hold me tight. Save your goodbyes for the morning light. Don't want to be lonely tonight. Say goodbye or say hello. It's sure enough good to see you, but it's time to go. Don't say yes, but please don't say no. Don't want to be lonely tonight. Go away then, damn you, and do as you please. You ain't gonna see me getting down on my knees. You're undecided and your heart's been divided. You've been turning my world upside down. Well, do me wrong and do me right now. Tell me lies but hold me tight. Save your goodbyes for the morning light. Don't want to be lonely tonight. Don't want to be lonely tonight. Please don't let me be lonely. Go away then, damn you. Do as you please. You ain't gonna see me getting down on my knees. You're undecided and your heart's been divided. You've been turning my world upside down. Do me wrong and do me right now. Tell me lies but hold me tight. Save your goodbyes for the morning light. Don't want to be lonely tonight. Don't want to be lonely tonight. Please don't let me be lonely. All right. Well, thanks for coming and listening. I think we have other people drifting in and kind of staying, which is nice. It's hard for me to tell how many are here exactly because I don't know if the number is correct. But hey, we've got people coming in. Ron Bacon just showed up. I am not lonely tonight. That's for sure, Ron. Thank you. Tammy is here from Peoria, Arizona. And there's also Peoria, Illinois, too. We know that. But there's a Peoria, Arizona. And it's the up-and-coming area around Phoenix. They're doing building there like crazy. And you can hardly drive anywhere in the city limits of Peoria without seeing building projects going on. So, but to get to my story, I was thinking about getting a car because my car has 285,000 miles on it. My old 2005 Subaru. So I thought, well, 0% interest. They were advertising 0% interest, but I couldn't find Ford's offer on their website. So I called up a car dealer in Michigan and said, yeah, I want the 0% interest. He said, well, it expires in 2 days. And I said, well, that's too bad because it was only in Michigan you could get the 0% interest. So he said, but we'll work it out. Call my friend in Peoria, Arizona. So I called up his car salesman friend in Peoria at 6 o'clock at night, and he goes, okay, I've got one on the lot, just what you asked for. He says, I'm driving up to Sedona to deliver it. And I go, hey, wait a minute. I didn't even test drive this car yet. And he goes, why, are you worried? I go, no. He says, okay, I'm coming. So by 9:30 that night, I had a new car, a new Ford Escape. So apparently my credit checked out. Good, I guess. Well, Kathy is here, Kathy Burgess. And so anyway, the reason I thought of that story is because Tammy is here, who lives in Peoria, Arizona. My friend Tammy. Nice to see you, Tammy. Oy vey. Miles Green. I know what that means because Miles taught me Yiddish, so I've heard that expression before. Oy vey. You know, actually, I think everybody knows what that means. You know, please, you know. So anyway, I'm going to be driving cross country on the 29th of June in my new Ford Escape. So that's the bottom line. Anyway. See, Johnny Mercer lyrics, Nat King Cole songs. Let's see, where can I go from here? I'm open. I haven't had too many requests. Couple of requests, and I'm going to do some well-known songs. Well, here's a Johnny Mercer song that he wrote the lyrics to, and Henry Mancini wrote the music to, and Miles Green mentioned Henry Mancini earlier. Everybody knows this song, and you know, it's a great song. Musicians sometimes complain about playing it so often. The reason people request this song so often is because it is a great song. It's a very well crafted song, and I'm going to do it. It's in 3/4, and it's called Moon River. Hey, there we go. See, Miles, I understand your language. I don't know what it is. Maybe we're long lost cousins or something. Okay, here we go. Anyway, Henry Mancini wrote the music, and Johnny Mercer wrote the lyrics to this beautiful song. Moon River, wider than a mile, you're crossing me in style someday. Old dream maker, you heartbreaker, wherever you're going, I'm going your way. Two drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbows and waiting round the bend. My huckleberry friend, Moon River and me. Two drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbows and waiting round the bend. My huckleberry friend, and me. Henry Mancini, boy, he also wrote this. So I'm going to do another Henry Mancini song actually right away here, which all musicians love to play this song, and it's from a movie. I never saw the movie, but it's got a nice title, The Days of Wine and Roses. Speaking of wine, after this song, I'm gonna open up a little, just have a small glass of wine because I'm going to a rehearsal with Ron Melman. The days of wine and roses, laugh and run away like a child at play through the meadowland toward a closing door, a door marked nevermore, that wasn't there before. The lonely night discloses just a passing breeze, filled with memories of a lonely child that introduced me to the days of wine and roses and you. Days of wine and roses, laugh and run away like a child at play through the meadowland toward a closing door, a door marked nevermore, that wasn't there before. The lonely night discloses just a passing breeze, filled with memories of a lonely child that introduced me to, oh, the days of wine and roses, the days of wine and roses, the days of wine and roses and you. All right, well, I'm going to just have a little toast with everybody before I play a couple more songs and slide out to my rehearsal. But thank you all for coming in. Here, we don't need that. I appreciate tips, by the way, but I don't need that sign up there all the time. I don't want to be annoying. And I do have this nice little bottle of, oops, I just moved my mouse away from somewhere, of Chateau Saint Michel. It sounds very French, but you know, it's a California Cabernet, which is my favorite anyway. So if you're, I'm just gonna have a little bit though, because I have to go to a rehearsal, and but it's a fun rehearsal. It's not a intensive rehearsal. It's at a tourist place called Tlaquepaque here in Sedona, and we're doing a live stream. I don't think it's for a live audience. It's not for a live audience. It's a live stream. And that's what's happening, of course, more and more. And that's why us musicians like Miles Green is doing live streams, and a lot of us are doing live streams now because people are social distancing, and some some aren't, but so the live streams are very popular right now. I have a ball doing these things. I mean, I do appreciate the tips, but you know, it's I was getting actually more generous tips at the beginning when I started, and I think people are finding their activities more now. So actually, you have a pretty good number of people here. It keeps growing, so I might stay and do a couple more. I am gonna stay and do a couple more songs. L'chaim. How's my Yiddish pronunciation, Miles? L'chaim. You get that little. So yeah, pretty good for an Episcopalian, huh? Actually, my church gig is at the Episcopal Church, and so I'm exposed to that a lot. But we're not, we're just not going to get into religion or politics, or especially politics, all the health stuff that's going on. So, oh no, I poured myself a little more wine than I wanted to. I just wanted a small glass of wine, and I poured too much. Oh well, I'll have to deal with it. So, what was I going to say? So I got my new car, and L'chaim. Yeah, Joe. We got 2 chat rooms. Joe, you can't see Miles in the other chat room, but Miles is throwing a lot of Yiddish words at me. But yeah, and Joe also pointed out that song Moon River is from the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's. And a food theme. And speaking of a food theme, that's part of what the rehearsal is today. They're doing a special live broadcast. I should announce it's actually tomorrow night. And if you, I'll put it on my Facebook page, my music Facebook page, and I'll put a reference to it because I'll be playing live for another live streaming service. It won't be available directly on my Facebook page, but I'll put a link to it tomorrow night before it starts. I think it starts at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Arizona time tomorrow. So no, Miles says, chug it. You chug it. And cheers. Like I am to life. I know that from the musical. I saw Fiddler on the Roof. So okay. So I haven't seen any requests come in, and I guess that's my job to pick out the songs, right? That's what I get paid for. Tip jar's there. We don't need the tip jar right now. Although it's appreciated if you do tip. Thank you. Sometimes I forget the actual composer of the song, but this is a song called It Could Happen to You. And it could happen to you. It could happen to me or you or anybody. And what may you ask are we talking about here? Well, you have to listen to the song. Well, Ron Bacon mentions the song Accentuate the Positive. And that's another song. Johnny Mercer actually sang on that one and had a hit song with it. And Johnny Mercer wrote the lyrics to Days of Wine and Roses, Moon River, or all kinds of these songs. He was a fantastic lyricist and a big player in the music business back in the 40s. And I was just a little boy, so I don't remember too much, but that's what I've heard. So hide your heart from sight, lock your dreams at night. It could happen to you. If anybody can look up the composer, then I'll feel better. But hide your heart from sight, lock your dreams at night. It could happen to you. Don't count stars or you might stumble. Someone drops a sigh and down you tumble. Keep an eye on spring. Run when church bells ring. It could happen to you. All I did was wonder how your arms would be. And it happened to me. hide your heart from sight. It could happen to you. Don't count stars or you may stumble. Someone drops a sigh and down you tumble. Keep an eye on spring, but when church bells ring, it could happen to you. All I did was wonder how your arms would be, and it happened, and it happened, and it happened to me. It happened to me. I didn't forget your song, Ron. Accentuate the positive, but it's a song that I don't know all the lyrics to. If you want me to fudge a little bit here and look up the lyrics on my phone, I know this is not professional, so please don't take this as professional behavior. I will look up the lyrics to accentuate the positive. It's a great song. Accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative. So, we got a couple more requests. I guess I'm going to be here for a while. So I'm going to be late for rehearsal, but that's okay. And I don't like to do this, but since Ron Bacon requested the song twice, I feel like I need to. Accentuate the positive lyrics. You've got to accentuate the positive. You've got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative, don't miss with Mr. In Between. You got to spread joy up to the maximum, hug gloom down to the minimum, and have faith or pandemonium, unable to walk on the scene. To illustrate my last remark, Jonah and the whale, Noah in the ark. What did they do when everything looked so dark? Man, they said we better accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In Between. Got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and latch on to the affirmative. Don't miss with Mr. In Between. You got to spread joy up to the maximum, bring gloom down to the minimum, and have faith or pandemonium, liable to walk on the scene. To illustrate my last remark, Jonah and the whale, Noah in the ark, what did they do when everything looked so dark? They said, you better accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and latch on to the affirmative. Don't miss with Mr. In Between. Don't miss with Mr. In Between. Yeah. Well, we've got a little song theme going here of songs by Johnny Mercer, Nat Cole, Henry Mancini, and Jimmy Van Heusen. So, boy, you can't go wrong with those songwriters. Those guys were amazing. So I've got time for like one more song. And I'm going to do the request for Swinging on a Star. Wow. This is a... What would you like to swing on a star? Carry moonbeams home in a jar and be better off than you are? Or would you rather be a mule? A mule is an animal with long funny ears. He kicks up at everything he hears. That sort of life is what you wish. You might grow up to be a fish. A fish won't do anything but swim in a brook. He can't write his name or read a book. The fool the people is his only thought. And though he's slippery, he still gets caught. And if you don't care a feather or a fig, you might grow up to be a pig. All the monkeys don't live in a zoo. Every day you meet quite a few. So you can see it's all up to you. You might grow up to be a pig. A pig is an animal with dirt on his face. His shoes are a terrible disgrace. He's got no manners when he eats his food. He's fat and lazy and extremely rude. If that sort of life is what you wish, then you might grow up to be a fish. Now you want to swing on a star, be better off than you are. You could be swinging on a star. I think I screwed up the words, but anyway, that's a great song by Jimmy Van Heusen. And one more song, Pennies from Heaven, a little positive song. Another theme of the day is positive songs. Every time it rains, pennies from heaven. Don't you know each cloud contains pennies from heaven? You'll see your fortune falling all over town. You'll find your fortune falling all over town. Treat them for a package of sunshine and flowers. If you want the things you know, you must have flowers. And if you hear it thunder, don't run under a tree. There'll be pennies from heaven for you and me. Okay, one more time. I'll get it right this time. Every time it rains, everybody. Pennies from heaven. Don't you know each cloud contains, everybody, pennies from heaven. You'll find your fortune falling all over town. Be sure that your umbrella is upside down. Trade them for a package of sunshine and flowers. If you want the things you love, you must have showers. So if If you hear it thunder, don't run under a tree. There'll be pennies from heaven for you and me. There'll be pennies from heaven for you and me. One of the great songs of all time. Frank Sinatra did that song on his Songs for Swingin' Lovers album, which is, if you haven't heard that, I'd recommend going out to buy it right now. It's got great songs on it. Barbie, L'chaim. Yes, we're all getting schooled by Miles Green and Mike Wanger. Hello, Mike and Bella. Nice to see you here. Donna and Brian Nelson are here. All right. Fantastic. Well, I've got time for one more goodbye song because I have to go to a rehearsal. And a lot of you came in late. But we're going to do one more toast, L'chaim, and cheers, and votre santé, and notre santé. And we're going to say hello to everybody. And I didn't do one by Irving Berlin, my favorite songwriter. Boy, Miles knows me too well. And I'm going to do one more song, and this is by Irving Berlin. My favorite songwriter, you're right. There may be troubles ahead. You can say that at any time in history or in any human situation, there may be troubles ahead. But oy vey, let's face the music and dance, as Irving Berlin would say. The greatest American songwriter who wrote God Bless America. He wrote White Christmas. Anyway, Easter Parade. He wrote so many great songs. Anyway, this is another song he wrote called Let's Face the Music and Dance. Yeah. There may be troubles ahead, but while there's moonlight and music and love and romance, let's face the music and dance. Before the fiddler has fled, before they ask us to pay the bill, and while we still have the chance, let's face the music and dance. Soon we'll be without the moon, humming a different tune. And then there may be teardrops to shed, but while there's moonlight and music and love and romance, let's face the music and dance, dance. Let's face the music and dance. Soon we'll be without the moon, humming a different tune. And then there may be teardrops to shed, while there's moonlight and music and love and romance, let's face the music and dance, dance. Let's face the music and dance. for coming. Steve's Virtual Piano Bar. I'll be back Sunday. I'm not sure where I'm going to be Sunday. I've been doing some Sunday special Steve's Virtual Piano Bar from St. Luke's Church. We've had some special guests, I'll announce it in a couple of days and I'll let you know. Thank you for coming. Everybody, Shanti, Shalom, Namaste, and everything, and cheers and all that. So thank you all. Boy, some great comments. Thank you all for checking into the chat room. And I'm sorry I have to leave early. If I didn't have to leave early, I'd play longer, but I've got to go to a rehearsal. So it's always fun every time I play for you guys, and I love you guys, and it's just a lot of fun. See you next time.